Eric to you. He's obviously the founder of Teamzy. I don't know too much about Eric. I'm learning, but what I can share with you guys is this. He's incredibly heart-centered. It's 11 p.m. I'm pretty sure that he's normally asleep. Or maybe he's like all of us and so fired up about his businesses right now he can't sleep. Maybe that's just me. He was, I don't know if he still is a network marketer, but he definitely was very successful within Beachbody. And he developed Teamzy because there was an absolute gap in the in the CRM kind of world for network marketers. And I know personally myself, and then Lauren, when I talked to her about it, and Jackie and Adam, Eric are in another team. They're also Isagenix millionaires with big businesses. They've just started using it with some of their team. So we've got 3 different teams of Isagenix on this call. And I know that so far I have 10 of my team using it, and we are just so grateful that it came into our life. So I'm so excited to hand over to you, Eric. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I know you've been having a pretty awesome month, so I'm excited to be part of that story too. And so just full disclosure, Lauren and Joe are in my boot camp right now. So they're probably maybe sick of hearing from me, but apparently they like it enough to bring me in front of you guys. So I take that. I'm honored by that. So thank you for having me. Okay. So as she said, my name's Eric Johnson, creator and CEO of Teamzy. We're going to have some fun tonight. I'm going to show you Teamzy. So if you haven't seen it yet, it's a software. I mean, sounds exciting, right? But what it does is it allows you to get all your income producing activities done in less than an hour a day. Okay, so you can go about having the wonderful lifestyle that you're building, but you just get super focused for 1 hour a day. Okay, so I'm going to show you how that works, and you're going to love it. Before I jump into that, though, I also need to teach you a little bit about the system Teamzy is built on. It's a system, okay? And it's based on a philosophy of relationship marketing. I need to teach you some of those principles so you understand what the system's helping you do in an hour a day. It's really powerful. It's all based on building relationships in a systemized way, if that makes sense. So what I want to do first is dive into the little bit of this presentation on relationship marketing. And then at the end of this, after we do that and we do the demo of Teamzy, I'll do open Q&A. So if you guys hang with me and you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. Okay, so let's talk about this first. How to systemize your success with relationship marketing, become a power hour boss. Oh, that's a mouthful, big old title. This is what we want to talk about though. And at the end of this presentation tonight, I want you to feel like a power hour boss, knowing that you can do your business in an hour a day. How cool is that? So a little bit about my backstory. My background, I do have some experience in direct sales, but honestly, my background's not in direct sales. I've been a business coach and business consultant for 16 years, helping people build their business, building relationship-based businesses. And I didn't work in direct sales at all. About 5 years ago, I fell into the direct sales industry by accident because I found some products that really helped me. And it was a life-changing experience for me. And I was excited to share it with people just because that's what people do when they have something great happen, right? How many of you, that's why you're in this business right now? And I took a look at the business opportunity only because my wife kept telling me I was a dummy for not, because I kept telling people about these products and they kept buying them. I wasn't a distributor. She thinks that I probably sent about 300 sales to the website without capturing them myself. So she told me to take a look at it. I took a look at the business opportunity. I thought, I went through that comp plan backwards and forwards, and I said, why isn't everybody doing this? This is great. You know, this is great. I can do this on the side, get a little extra income. See, kind of where I was, just to kind of give you a little bit about my backstory. Here's my family here. I was stuck. I was just completely stuck. See, I had built this career in coaching. It was great. I was at the top of my game. I was well respected, you know. I made in excess of 6 figures salary. And yet here I was stuck financially. We were kind of in a situation where I couldn't earn any more money doing what I did. And we live in Southern California, so it's not a cheap place to live. We were in a home that was upside down. Its mortgage was more than the value of the home because of the economy at the time. And I just couldn't picture how we could ever move forward as a family. So this opportunity came and I thought, wow, this is a great way to get a little extra income going, something else, right? To supplement what we're doing. The challenge I had was I just didn't have any time. I don't know if you guys can relate to that, but I had no time. I took a look at my calendar. You know, I'm good at this stuff. That's what I teach people, right? I took a look at my calendar. I took a full audit of my time, and I figured I had 1 hour a day. That's it. So I thought, okay, you know what? This can be done in an hour a day if the time is efficient and focused, right? And so I started looking for tools to help me. That's the first thing I would do if you came to me as a client. I would say, well, what tools are available to leverage that time? I started looking around in our industry. There's nothing. I mean, there was some software, but like most software out in the world, too complicated for me to use. How many of you guys can relate to that? Like, this needs to make my life easy, not hard. So long story short, we built Teamzy. And just to kind of give you some background, we released Teamzy December of, December of 2016, the last week of the year. So just 3.5 years. We've had more than 80,000 network marketers use Teamzy, which is so humbling and mind-blowing because without getting into the whole story, you guys, I started this business in a shed in the backyard. You know, the shed you put your lawnmower in, one of those with an extension cord. And now we've had 80,000 people use it, which is pretty cool. And people that are actively using Teamzy, they're averaging 21 customers and 9 recruits over 90 days. Okay, they're averaging 21 customers and 9 recruits over 90 days, which is pretty cool. Okay. Some people like Joe are doing better than that because they're rocking it. Well, we don't have 90 days yet, but we'll see what her numbers are at the end of 90 days. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this topic. What is relationship marketing? Okay, what is relationship marketing? You may have heard this term. It's kind of a buzzword. Most people don't really know what they're talking about when they say this. They think it's selling things to your friends or some people that are hardcore direct sellers say, well, that's just like fluffy stuff that doesn't work. I want you guys to understand something. Relationship marketing is a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. That's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of a business. This is a legitimate approach to how to build this business. Okay? And I want you guys to understand that your job is not to market and sell Isagenix products. I mean, that's part of what you do, but you're business owners. Your job is to generate leads. That's your business. You're in the lead generation business. The first decision you make as a business owner is which lead generation system fits with me, what's congruent with my values, what's something that I enjoy doing. Now, I hate all that salesy, icky salesperson stuff that's out there in our industry. That's why I love relationship marketing. So if you guys are drawn to an approach where you don't have to ever do that kind of stuff, burn bridges with relationships, or come across as an icky salesperson, you're going to love this system. Okay. First principle I want you to understand about relationship marketing is that developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty as a business owner. So your job is to generate new leads. In other words, meet people so that you can develop relationships with them. Sounds super simple, right? But it's a totally different approach. See, most trainers will stand before you and say, you need to meet people so you can sell them a product, or you need to meet people so you can recruit them to your team. And I'm telling you that if you meet people, you focus on deepening a relationship with them. The recruits and the sales will be consequences of that action. But much more valuable than a sale today is what we're going to do with this system. We're going to turn those relationships into our advocates. We're going to turn those relationships into our advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. Look, everybody in this business tells you need to connect with lots of people, right? But usually they tell you that when somebody says no, you like throw them away like a dead body over your shoulder and keep going. With relationship marketing, even the people who say no will become advocates. They will bring people to your business. Okay, and I'll just kind of explain that as we go a little bit more. Next principle, relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. In other words, if you're a jerk, this ain't gonna work. Okay, none of that stuff works here. You know, all of the things that have given our industry a bad name that make your friends and family skeptical about this business, all of that stuff, none of that works here. Anything that violates trust or is tricky or is deceptive or just a slightly disingenuous won't work. How many of you are excited to know that? You don't have to do that stuff. You don't have to do that stuff to be successful. In fact, you'll be much more successful without it. We need to take the 1975 version of sales and toss it in the trash. Okay? So just get rid of that. The world is different now. People have all the information. They need someone they can trust and make sense of it all. Make sense? So here's some of the good stuff. Trust makes the work fun. When somebody trusts you, you don't have to convince them. You don't have to sell them. You can get right to helping, right? You can get right to helping them when they trust you. Trust takes the ickiness out of the sales process. You'll never feel like an icky salesperson or come across as an icky salesperson when you're focused on building trust with people. And finally, you get to go for yes. Forget the go for no philosophy. That's so gross. You do not need to go through more no's to get more yeses. Anytime somebody says that, just call them out on it. Say, that doesn't make any sense. You want to get more yeses? You need to get more yeses. Does it make sense? And you got to change your approach to it. Okay, so how do you build trust? By the way, a little side note, most rational people are not going to say yes the first time they see this. How many of you said yes the first time you saw it? No way. Why would you? You should be skeptical of the people who say, yeah, sign me up. What's wrong with you? We just started the conversation. Okay. And that's like going up and introducing yourself to somebody that you find attractive and them saying, yes, I'll marry you. Right? Yes, I'll marry you. Wait, all I did was introduce myself. So how do you build trust? I'm going to teach you the 4 essential ingredients to building trust. So you can take something away from this call tonight and go apply it to the business, whether or not you use Teamzy. This is all the stuff you can use. Here they are real quick, and then I'll break them out for you. The first one is chemistry. Okay, chemistry. Number 2 is character. Character. Number 3 is competence. Okay, competence. I'm repeating for the good note takers here. Number 4 is consistency. Okay, consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. All right, let's go through these quickly. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Okay, chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about what is it about you they can relate to? Just really simply, you know what? Nobody wants to do business with someone they don't like, right? And we all prefer to do business with friends. So you just got to take a minute to build chemistry with people. And, there's so much training about finding your tribe, right? You guys have heard this stuff, attraction marketing, all this. And that's all really great. But here's what I want you guys to understand is that you can help everybody. I'm not saying that's not a great plan to go find your tribe and figure out who you want to serve. But the truth is anybody. What you guys do can help anybody. So just get good at asking a couple questions, finding chemistry. You have something in common with everybody. It's amazing. And on the flip side of this, I shouldn't even have to say this. It's kind of like stating the obvious, but don't do things that divide people. Don't do things that are opinionated that cause people to feel like they don't have things in common with you. Does that make sense? Because you're in business and you are your brand. What you do on social media, the way you drive your car, the way you treat people who serve you out in the world, that's your business. That's your marketing. Does this make sense? Which brings me to number 2, which is character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Okay, character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable. Notice something about this definition. You don't have character. Character is something you do. It's something you do, and you have to do it every day. We think of character as something we have. How many of you guys, 5 minutes ago would have said, I'm a person of good character? Show me. I don't know that. Does this make sense? You have to, think of character as your primary marketing plan. How many of you prefer to do business with business owners or businesses of character? Right? So think about this. How are you showing others your care? I had a great conversation today. Actually, another Aussie today. Her name is Sam. She's a social media expert in Australia. And we were talking about how people don't understand when they're posting on social media that every post needs to be demonstrating care for their audience. It needs to be all about their audience. This is what I'm talking about. social media, the way you interact, the way you drive your car, right? Do you return the cart when you go shopping, or do you leave it in the middle of the parking space? Little things like that. Don't put an Isagenix sticker on the back of your car and then drive like a maniac, right? You're diminishing your brand. Characters, when you demonstrate how much you care and that you're relatable, everything comes down to that. Number 3 is competence. Competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Okay, competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. There's 2 pieces to this. The first is, oh my gosh, I'm unhealthy, my joints ache, I'm 40 pounds overweight. Can you help me? How many of you would raise your hand and say, yeah, I can help you competently? Do you know what you're talking about? Do you know your products? Can you help me? That's the first piece. Because having bought a distributorship isn't enough. I need to know that you actually know what you're doing and you can help me. And I know that there's a million things I can go on Google and I can go find a lot of different things. So I need somebody I can trust to help me through this. Are you competent to do that? That's the first piece. The second piece is, wow, I'm in love with what you've done for me. Now, do I want to join your team? Do I believe you could mentor me to be successful in this business? That's the second piece. Do I believe you're the business person that will mentor me in this business? Okay. So part of your job is to demonstrate these 2 pieces of competence constantly. You need to be, and for those of you who are new, anybody on the call that's newer or new-ish, for you newer people, you may not feel as competent as maybe some of the leaders. I know we've got some amazing leaders on this call, right? Some of you are like, oh my gosh, she's on the call with me, right? They're just a little more competent than you. Here's the truth though. As new people, your job is to build that competence. And so you share the journey. Hey, I just learned this. This is amazing. Did you guys know this? You know, we're in summer. We're in the opposite. We're in summer right now. So it's hot and sunny. And so my kids love eating watermelon. Just a little side note. So years ago, I learned that watermelon, which is amazingly beautiful and delicious during the hottest time of the year. Did you guys know that eating watermelon increases your resistance to sunburn? Isn't that cool? There, I gave you something you can share. These are things as you're learning, right? You become an expert. You're sharing your competence. Isn't that cool? So my kids, I'm like, yeah, eat as much watermelon as you want and let's go swimming. It's great. It's all natural. Competence. You need to demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. When you're new, the last thing you should ever do is fake it. Don't fake it. Don't fake competence, because remember, it's all about building trust. When you're new, you just need to lean into the competence of your team, your upline. I mean, you just need to tell their stories. You need to say, oh my gosh, look how amazing the leaders are on my team. I can't believe I get to work with these people. They're so, this is what they've done. This is who we're mentored by. Come join me. You can be mentored by them too. Okay, so don't make stuff up. These are the people that know you. They've seen you with your pants on backwards. They don't believe you in the beginning that you're competent, and that's okay. So just let them know who you're associated with as you build it. Make sense? So the first 3 are chemistry, character, competence. You need to be thinking about this. Everything I do, everything I communicate, how am I demonstrating these for others? There's a principle behind this, and then we'll talk about number 4. And here's the principle. When somebody's going to do business with you, they really only care about these 3 things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? They may not ask these out loud, but they feel these in their heart, right? And it's your job over time to prove those. Here's the good news. When you have somebody in your life who can say yes to these, you've got an advocate. Now, an advocate may never purchase Isagenix products from you, and they may never be interested in joining your business, but they will bring people to you because they trust you, because they know you help people. And when they identify people they care about who need your help, they will bring them to you. That is the point. This is why I love those no's, because I'm like, you can say no today, but I cannot wait to help your mom, or whoever else is your most loved and trusted person. You'll be bringing them to me because I'll earn that trust. Okay, next, consistency. Number 4, consistency. Got to be consistent. Yay, another person telling us to be consistent. It's important though, right? How many of you have kids? Parents, let me see your hands. Is it important to be consistent if you want your kids to listen and trust you? Yeah, there's nothing more important than that. I love this principle. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. Look, consistency is one of the most important things to build trust. People have all three. Chemistry, they think you're good at what you're doing. They they see your character is good because maybe they've known you before, and now they're waiting to see, let's see how she does really with this Isagenix thing. They're waiting to see if you can be consistent, right? That's the last piece to build the trust. The bonus with this is that people love consistency so much, it draws them to you. Being consistent builds trust and it attracts people to you. They want to be around it. How many of you have been told by somebody that you inspire them? Weird, isn't it? I mean, no offense, you guys are amazing, but isn't it kind of weird when somebody says you inspire them? Think about what it is that you're doing that's inspiring them. It's the consistency. It's the consistency. They see you living this lifestyle out loud. And it's amazing. People will want to join it. Okay. So let me just ask you really quick. Here, actually, let me get out of this presentation really quick and just see your faces for a second. How many of you are really consistent with your Isagenix products? You use them all the time. You're living a healthy lifestyle. You're showing people what yeah, good, cool. I see you guys getting vulnerable, doing your bathing suit before and after shots and everything. That's not easy to do, is it, publicly? That's hard to do. I salute you guys for that. That's hard to do. How about sharing on social media? How many of you are consistent about sharing your journey on social media? We got a few of these. Well, there you go. There's a call to action right down. I should be more consistent on social media, right? You've got to get it out there. Now, here's the real checkup from the neck up. What about relationships? How many of you are consistent about staying in touch with people? Good. We got a couple of people. That's why we're here tonight. That's why you're listening to me talk, right? Because I'm the guy who's going to help you get consistent with that. That's what's important. That is what is important. I want you guys to know that, it's all about being consistent with the people that we're connected to, okay? Relationship building is a contact sport. You have to be in regular contact with people if you want to have relationships with them. There's no other way to do it. Here's the principle I want you to get tonight, the big one. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Really quick on this, and then we'll jump into Teamzy. How many of you have ever received a card or a letter from somebody that you love, and it had a handwritten message in it? When you read that, it just touched your heart, just moved you emotionally. How many of you ever received one of those? Okay, good. Everybody. So I don't have to write one tonight to anybody. That's okay. Good. How many of you still have that card somewhere? You still own it. You didn't throw it away. Everybody. Do you guys have like a stash of these cards and letters that you've saved over the years? Isn't it so impossible to throw those away? Look, I mean, we're in totally different countries on the other side of the world. I have a stash of them. You have a stash of them. People are the same. We value those. Now, I recently received this, and I don't know if you guys get these. I'm sure you do. This is a happy birthday postcard that I got from my life insurance salesperson. You guys ever get something like this? Like, I also get one from my dentist, little happy birthday postcard. It doesn't come on my birthday. It comes generally within 30 days or so of my birthday, right? It's kind of like it batches out on the first of the month. Does this get saved in the special place? How many of you throw these right in the trash can after you see them? Yeah, we do. We all throw these away. Nobody keeps these. They don't have the same value. What's the difference? This is a nice card, isn't it? I'm just using this to drive the point home. Here's the thing. This violates the two pieces of that principle I just taught you. This is not a personal connection. This is a bulk mailing. It doesn't even have my name in it. It just says, here's to another great year of you. It doesn't even have Eric in there. Okay? This is not personal. It's bulk. Did this require an investment of time? No, this is probably a service, right? The assistant emails a list of names and addresses. This required no investment of time. It's not personal. It has no value. Those handwritten cards that you've saved, listen, let's be honest. Most of you raised your hands that you have kids. Somebody's going to cherish those when you're not even here anymore. those cards and letters are going to have value beyond our own lifetime. This is immediately in the trash can. What's the difference? It's the investment of time and the personal connection. You guys need to just, I'm sorry, I know you want to see Teams. I can take you there in a second, but I just want everyone to get this point, because our world right now, we're being seduced by this concept of automated marketing. Marketing automation is so sexy. This is marketing automation. This is what it feels like to receive it on the receiving end of marketing automation. And this is why that's why that whole industry has a bad reputation. That's why direct sales has a bad reputation. This is about me yelling at you what I need from you, instead of connecting, having a deep connection with people, finding out how to help them, and solving their problems for them. Does this make sense? So do you need to be writing love letters to everybody that you know in order to have connections and build your business? No. But should you write handwritten cards whenever you can think of a reason to? Sure. In fact, I actually had some made with my company logo on them. Not expensive. Just a little side note. It's just a blank card with my logo, and it's like a little logo artwork that I send to people every once in a while. It's a cool thing to do, by the way. If you make those, they'll never throw them away, ever. They'll keep them forever if you write a nice note to somebody. But here's the point I'm trying to make, guys. You can invest 2 seconds of time, send somebody a message on Facebook or a text message. That's personal. 2 seconds, which is like 1 million more time than other people are investing in anybody. Nobody's investing time in anybody right now. You invest 2 seconds in somebody, send them a message. It's enough to make their day. Teamzy is a system where we're going to figure out what you want to achieve in life. Zig Ziglar used to say, you can have everything you want in life if you can figure out how to help enough other people get everything they want in life. Right? So what we're going to do with this system is we're going to invest time, connect with people, so that we can make a bunch of people's day every single day. And by doing that, it's going to create so much relational momentum. You're going to absolutely love it. And you're going to create tons of opportunities to share your business, right? In a way that doesn't burn bridges, in a way that builds advocates. So cool. Okay. So look, here's the deal. I think I have one more slide to show you before I jump into Teamzy. I got to finish it off since I made the slides. Okay, here we go. You got to have a system. There has to be a system to this. Relationship marketing, the principles, they're great, but you got to have a way to stay in contact with all of your relationships, everybody, so nobody falls through the cracks. You got to know when you're going to contact them, when you're not going to contact them. In other words, have a system that just lets you get to work instead of planning, right? That's a bummer when you have to spend 2 hours planning to do 1 hour of work. Just turn it on and go, and know what you're going to say so that you can start conversations without overthinking, without staring at your screen all day going, oh my gosh, is this the right message? How many of you guys do that? Just get right to it. And then make sure that nobody's falling through the cracks. This is the biggest problem in our industry. 80% of the good qualified leads that we come up with in this business, they fall through the cracks because nobody has a system to stay in touch with them. Okay. All right. So you guys get the idea. Now I've got you excited. Let's go to Teamzy. Let's see. I've got it right here, I think. Okay. Hold on, I lost my Zoom. There we are. Okay, so for those of you not using Teamzy, first thing I want you to know is you go to teamzy.com and you can get a 30-day free trial. It's 100% free for 30 days, okay? And not 7 days or 14, for full 30, because I want you to do a full sales cycle through there and really fall in love with the system. I also believe that if you just do what I'm going to show you right now in your first 30 days, you'll generate more than enough income to pay Teamzy for the whole year. Okay? And then now you've got a system working for you. Okay, so once you set up for your free trial, you're going to log in, and this is the first thing you'll see is what I have on the screen. It's the first page of the setup wizard. Remember how we talked about how it has to be easy enough for me to use? I want you guys to know I can do this. You can do it too, because I can't stand anything that's complicated. I don't have time for it. If it doesn't make my life easy, forget it. So we've made this as easy as possible. There's a little welcome page here, a little video from me. I'm going to skip that, but you can watch that on your own time. The first thing we're going to do to set up Teamzy is we're just going to set an income goal. How much money would you like to be making a year from now? Okay. What's your income goal? So if you're new, you're going to say the total amount. So in my case, my goal was $150,000. Now you can see at $150,000 a year, It tells me now what I need to be doing. I need to connect with 9 prospects each day, 6 customers, and 4 associates on my team. Now, if I were to move this a little higher, you'll see those numbers go up. Make sense? So Teamzy is going to tell you exactly what you need to do to hit your goal. Now, if you're already, let's say you're already a 6-figure earner or above, then what you're going to do is you're going to figure out how much you'd like to grow your income over the next 12 months, and that will be your goal. So if you want to grow your income $100,000, great. Your goal is $100,000 in Teamzy. Make sense? I ran into this with a good friend of mine here in the States, Kurt, who's got 48,000 people on his team. And he went in and did a free trial of Teamzy. And then he called me and he said, this is insane. I can't keep up with this. It had him making, I don't know, because he had like a 7-figure goal. It had him making a ridiculous amount of connects every day. So we got him scaled way back. If that makes sense. All right. So let's leave this at 150. When I first used Teamzy on day 1, that was my goal, 150, because that was my salary I was replacing. I wanted to replace it. Okay. So I'm going to click continue. Okay, so once you've continued with those goals, in the background, Teamzy is now configured to your goals, and we'll see that in a second on the next screen. The next thing we'll do is get all your contacts into Teamzy, okay? It's a full CRM, so you're gonna put all your contacts in here. You'll be able to get your back office people in, your team, all of your Facebook friends list imports, which is pretty cool, right? You can import your Instagram list. So you want everybody in one place. I don't want you guys digging around for pads of paper or sticky notes or spreadsheets or digging through your phone. Get it all in one place so it's organized. Does this make sense? And Teamzy lives in the cloud, which means you're always going to have it on your phone. Okay? So you always have access to it. Organized. Okay. I know you guys need help with that. We all do. So once we get everybody in there, these are just like some videos and instructions on how to do everything. We've got video tutorials and step-by-step instructions for everything. If you're good at following instructions, you can follow along. For those of you who are not good at following instructions, we have an amazing customer service team who will hold your hand through the process. You can even get a one-on-one Zoom with one of my team members, and they will go on a Zoom with just you and walk you through it, okay, if you struggle with any of that stuff. Okay. Here's the Teamzy dashboard. It's set up to our goals. This little box here is just to help you get started. Once you get using Teamzy, this will disappear when you've done all the tasks on there. So now looking at the dashboard, I'll just show you a couple things real quick. Today's activities, these are the goals that we set with the income goal. So my goals for today are to connect with 9 prospects, okay? You can see I've done 0 so far. Connect with 6 customers, connect with 4 associates. When I say connect, I don't mean I'm gonna try to cold invite them or make them watch a video they're not interested in or whatever. I'm just gonna connect. Just to say hello. I just want to make their day. Okay. So what I call it is the make someone's day mindset. That's where I want you to live. Just in the make someone's day mindset. We're going to start conversations with people. Okay. Then I've got a goal to invite people. An invite's a little different. See, that's when I'm inviting somebody to join my team or inviting somebody to buy my products. Okay. I'm not going to do that on every single conversation because it's not going to be appropriate. So I'm going to start conversations, look for interest, and I'll invite where people are interested. Make sense? Because some of these people I may need to have several conversations over a couple of months before I'm ready to invite them to something. True? And some people will be ready right away. And then I've got a goal to add new people to Teamzy every day. So those are my goals. Connect with my prospects, customers, and associates, invite 3 people to the business, add new people to my list. If I did that daily, 5 days a week, I'm going to hit my goal in 12 months. How many of you didn't know what to do? Now you know what to do. Okay, now you know what to do. And we've had, like I said, we've had 80,000 people into Teamzy in the last 3.5 years. It works. The algorithm works. So it's good. You can just plug in. Okay. So now we're going to start connecting with people. You can see down here is my Power Hour module. This is where I do my work. This is designed to help you be efficient with your time. The left side of this has my who's up next lists. Okay. My prospects, my customers, my associates, and my follow-ups list. There's 4 lists. Each one gives me 5 names at a time. That's on purpose. That's to keep me focused. That's to keep me from getting overwhelmed. Okay. The right-hand side is where I log the activity as I go. So I don't have to come back later and do homework. I just do it as I go. I don't think. Teamzy says connect with Joe. We'll do that in a second. I'm going to connect and log it and move on. Okay. Now, before I jump into this Power Hour and demonstrate how to do this, there's one more thing on setup I want to talk to you about. Do you notice that next to everybody's name is a number? This is actually their star rating. You know, like you'd rate a hotel or a pizza place. right? You guys get this. You do everything with 5 stars, right? 5 stars is awesome. I'm from California, so I say the word awesome like a lot. So just get used to it. Okay. I think everything is awesome. Awesome is like mediocre. And then we go from there up. That's just my life. So 5 is awesome. 1 is not, right? So I want to show you how to do that because it's really important that we rate people in Teamzy. Okay. Because relationship marketing, to be successful with it, it depends on prioritizing your relationships. You got to prioritize relationships. Okay. The people who trust you the most, you should be talking to first. Duh. Right? And you should talk to them more often. So Teamzy does that automatically once you've rated people. Let me show you how to do it. I'm going to jump over to the team page. The team page in Teamzy is where your full CRM lives. Look, the whole list is here. All my contacts, okay? And if I click on one, on the right-hand side, I get all their contact information, notes, conversations we've had, everything there. But you'll notice when I click on somebody, you can see their star rating, and I can change that just by clicking on it. And it's saved the second I click it. Super easy. Now we have a mode called rank mode, which lets you do the whole list at once. And this is what I want you guys to see, because when you first set up Teamzy, I want you to come down this list and do a quick rating of everybody, a ranking, okay? So that Teamzy can start creating that list for you every day intelligently. Why is this important? Let's say you've got 3,000 friends on Facebook and you import them into Teamzy, right? If you don't rate them, it's just going to go random, which means that the people who trust you the most, you might not even message for 6 months. You're missing opportunities, right? I think of it like here, you can't see, I'm pointing to it, but outside my window here, I've got a small citrus grove in my yard, and I've got some trees, right? Some fruit trees. I want you to picture those trees, right? Some of them are full of fruit. Some of them don't have any fruit. Some of them have green fruit. Okay. If I wanted to go get some fruit, which tree would I go to? I'd go to the tree with fruit. Those are going to be my 5 and 4 star people. If you don't rate, it's like going to the tree with no fruit over and over and over and over and going, why am I getting no results instantaneously? You need to go to the trees with no fruit, water them, and put fertilizer on them occasionally so that they will bear fruit in the future, but you need to be going to the trees full of fruit first. Make sense? Okay. So look, let me go through these ranks and then we'll do our power hour. So here's what they mean. A 5-star is somebody that's most likely to become a customer or an associate, or they're already on your team, they're already a customer, and they're your rock star people that you love. 5-star people are your best friends, your closest family. These are your favorite people. They're going to show up on your list every 30 days. You're going to get a reminder just to connect to that person. 4-star people, these are somebody that you feel, with a little bit of nurturing might join the team or become a customer. These are also your friends and family, just maybe not your closest circle. 4-star people show up every 60 days. Okay, every 60 days. 3-star people, they could go either way. You have no real idea until you start connecting, right? A 3-star person shows up every 90 days. And I want you guys to know probably 90% of the people you know are going to be 3 stars. Okay, so when you put them in Teamzy, they're all going to be 3 stars by default, which means you only actually have to rank 10% of your list, because 90% of your list will be 3 stars, and that's fine. 2-star people every 120 days. Does this make sense? The more stars they have, the more often they come up on Teamzy, and the sooner they come up. Okay? So once you've done that, you just go down the list and just cherry pick your best people. Oh, he's a 4. I want to click on that. Okay? And when you're done, you're ready to rock. So now we're ready to do our power hour. Let me demonstrate how to do this. It's so much fun. Again, you can connect with people however you want to connect with them. I like to use Facebook Messenger primarily if I have them on Facebook, because the response rate is super high on Facebook, higher than anything else. So I've got Facebook open right here in a separate tab. I'm ready to use it. Okay, so the first person that came up today on my list is Joe. No, I didn't fix that at all. It was just random. So I'm going to message her. Okay. So I'm going to send a message to her, and I just want to connect and make her day. So what the heck do I say? How many of you right here is where you get stuck? What do I say to her? Maybe I haven't talked to her since high school. Oh my gosh. What do I say? So when we launched Teamzy a few years ago, this is where people struggled. So I went in and built a scripts library for you, put all of my scripts in here. You guys seriously just use these. They work. They've been tested thousands of times. They just work. They're just icebreakers. So look right here where it says scripts. I'm going to click on that. That brings up the scripts library. I'm going to get one for Facebook. I'm going to pull the first one off the list as a sample. Connect number 1. Here's what it says. It says, "Hi, Jane. Just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome." It's super simple. Okay. And this uses real simple psychology. Okay. We've taken that. It's a low pressure hello. It doesn't feel weird or awkward. It's about her and it's a well wish. It's just to make her feel good. Okay. So I'm going to copy that script and we'll just paste it into here so that I can edit it, because obviously her name's not Jane. And did it paste? There we go. Change the name. I always recommend using their name. Okay. For a couple reasons. Once they know it's personal and they don't suspect it's this. Okay. That's one thing. Because you're going to be tempted to just put like babe or sweetheart and just copy and paste all day long and to save yourself one step. Just keep the name in there. So look, I've got the name. I also like to put a couple of emoticons in just so that, that's just, I like that. How many of you guys do emoticons? Totally. So look, I got a couple of emoticons. Great. Now it feels like a real message I might send. So now that I've got it just the way I want it, I'm going to copy this and send it to her. So it only takes a second to look somebody up. Send message. There it is. Send. Was that easy? Did you see how fast I did it? You know why I did it so quickly? To stop me from overthinking it. Just send it. It's going to be fine. Trust me. So I'm going to log this. That was a Facebook message. See the big blue button that says log connect? That's how you log it. Super easy. So I'm going to now log this by clicking on that. It's now logged. She's off my list. My list has moved up. Okay, you can see I've got 1 done in this little circle starting to fill in. I've got 8 left. Next on my list is Lauren. I'm going to use that same script and just change the name. How easy is that? It's ready to go. There she is. Anywhere with Wi-Fi. I love that, by the way. Can I borrow that? I like that. There it is. Send. Super easy. I'm getting all these great lines from people lately. I like that. Anywhere with Wi-Fi. I recently got an email from Celine. She's in Australia too, another network, and she signs her emails "Mega Blessings." I was like, "Can I have that?" She goes, "You can have that." She goes, "You can be the American ambassador of Mega Blessings." So I started signing my emails "Mega Blessings, Eric." I love it. I think it's great. Hey, nobody's invented anything new. We just find the best of everybody's stuff and use it, right? Okay, so look, log connect, done. I've got 2 done, 7 left. I'm just jamming. Next one's Jay. Do you guys see how easy this is? And there's no reason why you can't use that same script over and over. It's just a hello script. Okay, but you can grab the next script if you want. So look, there's Jay. Good, we got it. This will be the last one, just to give you an idea of how easy that is. There she is. There's Jay. Send message. She's going to be like, "Why are you messaging me at 11:45 p.m.? Because you can do Teamzy whenever you want. She works for Teamzy. It's all good. Okay, so she just ignores it. So there it is. Log connect. 3 done. You see how this blue circle is filling in? When that turns all the way blue, I'm done with my prospects for the day and move on to the next list. Now, just real quick on this. Some people will respond right away. Don't run off and have the conversation yet. Get all the outgoing messages done first. Okay, so you don't get sidetracked. The other thing I want you guys to understand is that maybe half of them won't respond, and I don't want you to even give them a second thought. They're in Teamzy. You can't lose them. They're going to come back again in a month, 2 months, 3 months. You just message them again. Half of them will respond, and you're going to be busy talking to those people. Okay. Next are customers. So when I'm done with my prospects for the day, I go to the next list, which are customers. I'm going to connect with my customers the same way, just little messages to connect, to make their day. Charlene's the first one on my list. Great. I'll go to scripts. By the way, Teamzy's now switched the scripts list to customer scripts. How cool is that? So look, here's a great one for Isagenix. Congratulations on great results. Jane, you're doing so great. I'm proud of you. Congratulations on whatever. Those 3 inches that you wanted to lose for the wedding, you did it. Whatever it is, congratulations. Congratulations on choosing Isagenix. That was a smart move. I don't know. Just a little thought. I love this one. How are you enjoying what are the products they're using? Send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. Okay. Send me an update is a great, just a little great line to get people talking to you. And my favorite one here. Hi, Jane, just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. This is the best script for customers. Oh my gosh. If you haven't used that, I want you to use it tomorrow with your customers or even tonight. They will love it. Most people will respond with, oh my gosh, your message just made my day. Isn't that what you want? So look, the same thing. I'm just going to change the name. Boom, message is good. I'll go send it to her and I'll log it in Teamzy, just like I did with prospects, but now I'm connecting with customers. This is pretty easy, right? Couple things on this real quick. You don't need to do salesy stuff with customers. You just need to be present. You just need to be connected. Just say hello, just check in, just be present. Think about what it's like when you go to an amazing restaurant and you get great service. What does great service look like? Usually, once the original sale is made, right, you've ordered your food and it's brought to you, it's the ongoing service of somebody just being present from time to time. They're just there. They're friendly. They're just there wishing you on. You know, it's like, I hope you're having a great time. How many of you guys grew up serving serving in a restaurant? How many of you guys have done that for work? Best sales training ever. Best sales training ever. A lot of the principles I'm teaching you, I learned waiting tables. It was great, right? Some of the same dialogue, some of the same scripts. So you just want to stay in touch with them. But here's a couple things, some statistical things that you guys will like. How many of you wish you were in better contact with your customers in general? Do you see how this is going to make it easier? Yeah. And you're going to feel good about that because it's the service you want to provide in your business. The next thing that happens though, just by being in regular contact with people, is that they order more products and they retain longer. Okay, so let me just say it again. When you're in regular contact with customers, just saying hello, just connecting, they order more product and they retain longer. How many of you would like to see that average monthly retention rate go up? You just got to be in touch. You just got to be in touch. That's all. And once you get them in a system like this, every 30, 60 days, whatever, depending on, how hot they are for you, they're going to love it and they'll order more. And they're going to be like, oh, I saw that you posted this thing about that thing, those products, those little chocolate chewable things that keep me from getting hungry in the middle of the day. I want to try those. I saw those on your thing. Can I get some of those? Right? You're just by being in touch. Okay. The other thing is when people are starting to kind of like fade, if you're there, you have a chance to talk to them and educate them, keep them going, encourage them. So staying in touch statistically will increase the volume for the whole team, which is pretty cool. In fact, what you guys will probably see, leaders that are on this team, as you get people into the 30-day free trial of Teamzy, you could see a major volume change in 30 days just with people testing the system out, just because they're talking to people. Pretty cool. There's one more thing, though, that talking to customers on a regular basis is huge for. And I want you guys to understand, I know everybody says prospect, 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 and you need to do that. But staying in touch with customers is equally as important to your business as prospecting. The main reason is getting introduced to new people. Oh my gosh. How do you meet new people in your business? How much work is it to go out and I'm not saying you shouldn't do these things, but how much work is it to go out and meet people you've never met on Instagram, Facebook, and all that? I mean, that's good stuff, but do you realize that your current customers would be happy to introduce you to their friends and family? How many of you have at least one customer that you just love and that is loving Isagenix? Good. And you all got that person in mind right now. Here's what I want you guys to understand. They're all human beings, right? Everybody you were thinking of, they're all human beings. Good. So here's what I know about them. They're telling other people about Isagenix. Everybody who uses a product they love, they talk about it. So they're already talking to people about it. Now, here's another statistic for you. 86% of people say that they make their buying decisions based on the recommendations of a friend. You're like, everyone's nodding, like, that makes sense. I do that. Yeah. So your customer, who you just thought of, by the way, all of you now have homework for tomorrow, is talking to other people about Isagenix. The question is, are you getting introduced to the people they're talking to? Or are those people Googling it and trying to figure out how to buy it on their own, which is what happens most of the time. So step one, being in touch with your customers. That gives you the opportunity to just ask them. Because when I'm in touch with you and we have a good relationship, it's easy for me to say, Joe, you've been getting amazing results. I'm really proud of you. You've been on the program. Look at the results you've been getting. Unbelievable. In fact, I saw your before and after shot that you did today, Joe. And I was like, wow, she's getting great results. I know you're talking to people about Isagenix and all the cool stuff that's happening in your life. And before my schedule gets filled up this month, I just want to know, are there people that you care about who need help that I need to get information to before I get too busy to help them this month? She's going to go, yeah, I was talking to my friend Sally and my friend. Perfect. Good. Well, I want to make sure that I take care of your people first because you're so important to me. Would you mind introducing them to me so that I can get them some more info? Whatever's easiest for you, Joe, just a group text or a group Facebook message, group email, whatever you want to do, just let's get them introduced so I can get them information and make sure that we get them the help they need. It's so easy. Okay. When that group chat on Facebook opens up from Joe and she says, hey, Sally, this is Eric, my Isagenix rep. He's the one that's been helping me lose weight and get fit. I just wanted to connect you guys. How valuable is that to my new relationship with her friend? She already trusts me. It's worth 100 people on Instagram. Does this make sense? You got to be in touch with your customers because they are the first people who are going to become advocates. And then what happens when Joe gives me 3 friends and they all want in? What have I just uncovered? My newest team member. Do you think I'm going to just take her customers and move? No, I'm going to call her back and go, have you considered doing what I'm doing? Because you're obviously a natural. Your friends are all excited about Isagenix already. Why don't we get you on the team? We'll get these people under you. We'll start your business. Does this make sense? Guys, it starts with a simple system to stay in touch with these customers. All right, I know I'm taking too much time. Let me speed this up for you guys. So I'm going to connect with my customers. Whatever my goal is, 6 a day in my case. I'm just going to connect, just going to stay in touch, boom. And that will cycle through the whole list. Some of you guys are going to run out of customers and go, oh my gosh, I got nobody on Teamzy today. What do I do? That's your sign to go hustle up some new customers. Okay. And keep building that list. It's okay over time. Some of you on this call are like, oh my gosh, I have so many customers. And that's okay. Okay. So you're just going to do the best you can. That's a good place to be in. I know I have a good friend of mine who, when we first started Teamzy, she had 19,000 customers on her list. She put in there after 15 years in the business. And, everyone's like, Teamzy's slow. And we're like, oh, somebody put 19,000 people on their customer list. I guess we need to rewrite the software. We didn't know people had that many customers. So some of you guys, would that be a good problem to have? Yeah. So we got, what we did for her? She got a virtual assistant in the Philippines that messages customers all day long from her account. I mean, like you figure it out, right? You figure it out. All right. Customers, prospects, customers, and then associates. You're just going to connect to people on your team the same way, a little message to make their day, stay in touch with them. Okay, this is big, especially as the team grows. You start to lose that personal contact with the team. You work so hard to build culture. It's all about your team culture, right? I mean, Isagenix is awesome, but it's your team and it's your culture as leader. And what happens is when we start relying on our Facebook page or Zoom calls, group Zoom calls, we start to lose that personal connection. And then, so this is just going to make it easy for you to stay in contact with people. How much would it mean for you to just randomly out of the blue get a text from your leader that says, hey, I just noticed that you signed a new customer. Congratulations. You're awesome. I'm here if you need me. Oh my gosh, people freak out over that. So prospects, customers, associates, you build your team by doing these things. Okay. So in our example, it took me a long time to explain it because I'm having fun explaining it to you guys, but it was 19 messages. Okay. So you should be able to easily get that done in less than 30 minutes. Just send them 19 messages out. Okay. And then the second half of our power hour is working the follow-ups list. Okay. It's working the follow-ups list. When you get to the follow-ups list, you'll see, well, you can see I've got one here that's old, but there's nobody on the follow-ups list because the follow-ups list in Teamzy is not automatic. You have to put people there. Okay. So here's what I want you guys to understand, because people use the word follow-ups when they're just meaning connects. To follow up means you've actually offered something. Does this make sense? So just because I said hi and you ignored it, that doesn't give me a reason to follow up with you. You're in Teamzy, I'll say hi again when you come up automatically. But when I'm talking to you and we're having a great conversation, and I can tell you're interested in what I'm doing, and I say, you should get some of these products, or let's talk about the business opportunity, when I actually invite you to my business and I found you're interested in Isagenix, that's when I'm going to put you on my follow-ups list. Okay. So I'm having 19 conversations a day. My goal out of 19 conversations a day is that some magic will happen and 3 people I'll find interested out of 19 and I'll invite to the business. So if in a perfect world where I'm really cranking in Teamzy, 5 days a week, I'm putting 3 people on my follow-ups list. So by Friday, I've now talked to almost 100 people, and I've got 15 people on my follow-ups list. Does this make sense? So let me show you how to do it. So I'm talking to Jo. We're having a great conversation. We're catching up. She's telling me everything she's done since high school. I'm telling her everything I've done since high school, right? Isn't that a normal thing? How are your kids? Oh my gosh. Tell me about your family. Great. I've got kids too. This is what we're into. Great. Blah, blah, blah. How's work? She tells me about work. What am I going to tell her about? My business. Okay. I know it's been a long time since. I'll just give you an example of something I might have said. And just to clarify from Joe's introduction, I'm not a network marketer. So you guys, some of you who are worried about that, you don't have to. There's no conflict of interest. I just do Teamzy. Not anymore. But something I might have said is, I don't know if you know this about me, but I recently lost 60 pounds. And they'll go, wow, you lost 60 pounds. How many of you have a weight loss story? So if you have a weight loss story, you can just take my words or you just tell whatever your story is. I lost 60 pounds recently, and wow, that's amazing. Yeah, it was life-changing for me. I mean, it changed the way I felt about everything. And I felt like I had a new life. And I was so excited about it that I became very passionate about helping other people do the same thing. Wow. Yeah, so I aligned myself with this company, Isagenix, who makes these amazing products. They were life-changing for me, and now I'm sharing them with others. And the cool thing about it is I've been able to create a home-based business that's creating a new stream of income for my family. Okay, so just so you guys know, as my business grew, that story changed. At first, I was excited to build a new business for a new stream of income for my family. Then I was excited to have my mortgage and some other bills paid by my business. And then I was excited about the fact that I didn't have a job anymore and I got to be home with my kids. Like the story grew, right? But it all started with, hey, what are you doing? How's your work? Great. Here's what I'm doing. Just share it. Okay, just share it. Here's what I'm doing now. I'm excited about it. I'm passionate about helping people. She's going to go, wow, that's cool. And so when I'm talking to Jo and I can feel that she's really interested in what I'm telling her, I'm just going to ask her, would you like to learn more about what I'm doing? Or would you like to learn more about Isagenix? It's easy to do. And if she says yes, I'm going to invite her to something. I'm put her on my follow-ups list. If she says no, I'm going to it was a great conversation. I'm going to continue connecting with her. I'll probably plant a seed to make her my advocate. Just, I would always say something like, well, hey, it was great talking to you. No worries that you're not interested, but could you do me a favor if you do come across somebody who's struggling with this, with their health, their nutrition, their vitality, their energy, just like I was, could you connect them with me? Because I'm on a mission to help as many people as I can. I will tell you something. Almost everybody who told me no said, yes, I will connect you with the people I care about who need this help. That's what you want, right? And you've kind of planted that seed that starts to germinate and erode their own doubt over time, which is kind of cool. So when she says yes, here's what I'm going to do. Just real quick. She's not on my dashboard, so I'm going to use this lookup bar to look her up. There's a lot of people with J-O. That's the problem. All right, let's go to the last name. There she is. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to see where it says invite right here in the connect box, invite. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to log in invite. So let's say I invite her over to an event that we're doing, so come over to the event. We're going to be talking about the business opportunity. Great. So I invite her to the event. So now I've set an invite in Teamzy. I'm going to send her this event invite via Facebook. Okay. See this little calendar here? This is my follow-up. So it's setting a follow-up. So let's say the event's today. I'm going to invite her to it and I'm going to follow up tomorrow. Okay. I'll put her on my list for tomorrow. So when I log this connect in Teamzy, it's now put her a follow-up on her record for tomorrow. So what that does is it takes, oops, I hit the wrong button, didn't I? Here we go. So what it does is it takes her off of that prospects list and now puts her on the follow-ups list. See where she is there? So now she's on my follow-ups list. So while she's on my follow-ups list, she's not going to cycle back on my connects list. She's right here on my follow-ups list. Okay. So the second half of my power hour, I'm going to come in, and this little circle will show me if I have any follow-ups due today. So I can go to my list and send follow-ups to whoever's due. So let's pretend that Joe's due. I'm going to send her a follow-up. So what I'll do is this exact same thing. I'll go to my scripts and I'm going to grab a follow-up script. Yes, I put 10 follow-up scripts in Teamzy for you guys to use. So if you're not good at this, you just follow the scripts. Okay, they're numbered. Just do them in order. Here's number 1. It says, "Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me?" Now, little pro tip, always tell them you'll follow up and when. And then you can use this script. "Hey, I'm going to check in with you tomorrow and see if you have any questions." Great, Eric. Now I can say I'm checking in like I promised I would. See, it's really key that you do this in a way so you're not being annoying, right? You want to do it in a way that's caring. I'm going to explain that to you guys in a second. So look, I grabbed that script. Just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? By the way, when you do it this way, I'm actually building trust with her. I made a promise and I kept it. So I'm going to go over here to Teamzy, send her this message just the same way. Okay. There's my first follow-up. It's sent. Okay, now we log this in Teamzy. Now this is important. When you log this follow-up in Teamzy, set a new follow-up. Otherwise, it'll clear her off the follow-ups list. So let's say I'm going to follow up in 2 days now. Okay. So, and you can leave yourself a little note if you want as you get up this full, like I'm going to put in here that I'm going to do follow-up number 2 next. Okay. So there, it's logged. So now we've got a new follow-up logged for 2 days from now. Does this make sense? So here's what I want you guys to understand. This is where people screw up this business. They mess up the follow-up. All this work to generate all these conversations, to invite people to the business, find people that are interested, and then they lose them on the follow-ups. 80% get lost on the follow-ups. And here's why. Let me give you the stat. 80% of sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. 80% of sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. A couple of you are like, he had me until that. That sucks. I don't want to follow up 10 times. And most people don't follow up that much because they're worried about they're being super annoying. How many of you guys are kind of like, I think that would be really annoying? Okay. And it is, unless you do it the right way. So let me teach you really quickly how to follow up without being annoying. There's 2 principles. And if you do this, people will love you for it. Okay. They will love you for it. And all of my scripts and Teamzy follow these principles. But really quick, before we do it, how many of you are really passionate about what you do? You really believe you can help change people's lives through this business? Yeah. Isagenix has some pretty cool products, right? Do they help the people who don't have them? No. So your product's really irrelevant if you can't get them to get the product, it's kind of irrelevant. This is what I want you guys to understand. The only tool you really have that helps people is your ability to follow up with them. If you're passionate about helping people, you need to adopt my philosophy, which is this: following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love. This is how we love people. This is how we prove that we care for them, is that we continue to follow up when other people would have given up on them. So I want you guys to write that down. Keep it somewhere where you can see it. Following up is an act of love, and really just live that out. Because when you give up because you're worried about being annoying or people are not responding, and you start creating stories in your head for why they're not responding, what you actually communicate to them is, "I'm sorry, I don't care about you. I'm giving up on you." Right? Okay, so now that you got that part, let me teach you how to do it in a way that people love it. First off, I want you guys to understand that the 80% of the people who don't close until 7 or 8 follow-ups, those people will not respond at all to 5, 6, maybe even 7 follow-ups. 80% of the people. How many of you have had somebody you thought was really interested and there was no response, nothing but crickets? It's so frustrating, right? Super frustrating, especially now that I'm telling you 8 out of 10 people will do that to you. However, they will close, and they are usually the strongest builders on your team when they finally come around. How many of you took a year before you joined of being pursued? Yeah. I mean, it happens all the time. So here's what I want you guys to understand. They don't respond at all. It's not because they're not interested. It's not because their husband's a jerk. It's not because they're broke. It's not because the economy's bad. It's not because we hate the government. Those are the types of stories that we make up on team calls, right? Joe, how about that new lead, Eric? That guy you were talking about was really excited. I don't know what happened to him. I think money's a problem. We start making up explanations because we can't figure out why they're not responding. Okay. What's happening is you send somebody a message. They're busy at that moment. Their life is going on. Something's happening. They don't respond. How many of you guys get messages? You don't open them right now because you're in the middle of something. You forget they're there. This is happening to people. Okay. They're interested in Isagenix, but it's not like the most important thing in their life right now. It's kind of something they're interested in. You have to, does this make sense? Okay. So here's how you do the follow-up without being annoying. Principle number 1, don't ask them to do anything in the follow-up. Okay. Don't ask them to do anything. Don't give them any homework. They don't need to call you. They don't need to text you. They don't need to respond. You've got an event on Friday. They don't need to RSVP. Don't ask them to do anything. Okay, because that's annoying. How many of you, I know a lot of you are parents. How many of you anybody have adolescents or teenagers? Picture your adolescent or teenager playing a video game and you asking them to run to the car in the garage and get something for you. Are they excited about it? This is the way adults are when we tell them to call us back. Okay, just don't do it. Don't give them any homework. The second principle is this. Your follow-ups, they have to be able to be read. So no voice messages, no videos. They have to be able to be read, and they have to be short enough they can read the whole message without opening it. Okay? You guys are nodding. You're like, oh, I'm getting this. Because here's what you want. You just want them to see your message. And they will, 100% of the time, they will see the message. They may never open it. You may think, oh, they're not even opening my messages. Give me a break. You guys are seeing those messages when they come through. And if you can read the whole thing on the lock screen of your phone without opening it, then you can be sure they're getting the message and they're happy about getting the message. Okay? Those are the most important pieces, because all we're doing with these messages is we're reminding them that we love them. We're reminding them that we are going to keep our promise to serve them and help them, and that we are here ready to help when they're ready. So people are interested. You go through all that trouble to get them interested. You put them on your follow-ups list. You start following up, and there's nothing but crickets. You keep following up. You just keep letting them know you're there. Okay? And after 6 or 7 nothings, you're like pulling your hair out going, I'm going to send a hate letter to Eric Johnson in the States because now I've spent 3 months on this person and they haven't done a thing. All of a sudden, you'll get a message that says, I'm so sorry I haven't responded to your messages. Thank you so much for staying in touch. It's like clockwork, you guys. It's like clockwork. 20% of the people will close in the first 3 follow-ups. 80% take a long time. So how do we do this as a system? You go into Teamzy, you connect with prospects, customers, associates, keep all those relationships going. You find people are interested, you invite them, put them on your follow-ups list. Every single day, you go down your follow-ups list, all the follow-ups that are due, you send them a message. That's it. You send out messages to new conversations, and then you send out your follow-up messages, and you keep them on that follow-ups list. Some people might be on that list for a year following up. That's okay. Every single month, once you've been doing this for a while, every single month, people on that follow-ups list close. New customers, new associates joining the team every month. It's consistent. It's predictable. That's how we can say, oh, I want to make 100,000. We can say, great, this is how many connects you do a day. It's consistent and predictable. And as you get better at this, you get better results. Your results get better, which is great, which is why people who, it's so unfair, isn't it? That successful people don't have to work as hard to get better results than you. It's like launching a rocket ship, you guys. All the momentum is built in the beginning, right? Have you guys ever watched like a rocket launch? It's like they have to blow up all these tanks of fuel. Once it's in space, it just goes forever. So we have to put that momentum in the beginning. Does this make sense? Okay. That's how it works. just do it every day, 5 days a week. You get in there, get consistent, you'll get consistent results, and it's going to be a lot of fun. All right. I know I've been talking forever. So if you guys have questions, what I want you to do is just go ahead and unmute your mic and ask away. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Come on. I love those Australian accents. We got UK people on here too, I heard, right?
Mine's not a question, Eric, but it's funny because I've uploaded it the incorrect way, so everybody is in my follow-up. So I'm just thinking now I'm going to have to like literally everyone is in follow-up. But I thought that would be okay because I can go through one by one because I need to do my Facebook list anyway. I've got a lot of Isagenix people on there that I need to categorize. So I've kind of been a bit slower with it, but I love it. Like, it is so great. But do you think I should spend like all tomorrow and the next day doing the star rankings to make it all?
Yes.
Or just keep going through the follow-up, like day by day?
So I think you should do the star rankings. Let the system work for you. You know, it takes a little bit of time and, you know, so like when I did it, I think I had 5,000 people in there, you know, and it took me like, you know, I think it took to really go through my list. It probably took me a couple of hours, and I didn't do it all at once. And I put on some relaxing music and got an adult beverage and did it. You know, I think I'm pretty sure I was sitting next to my wife while watching something on Netflix and ranking my list. Right? I didn't break a sweat at it, but I was excited to have it done. So here's the thing: it's like people get stuck with that and they go, "I'll do that as I go." We just moved into a new home a few months ago. And moving is a pain, isn't it? But this is the house like that I've dreamt about for years. It's, you know, I used to talk about my why, the house that I wanted, my big goals. And like, now we just live in it. And moving in was so stressful, but now we live in it. So think of it like you're moving into your dream kitchen, right? Would it be more fun making breakfast in the morning if all the plates and pots and pans were unpacked and put away? Or
100%.
Or every single time you need to make something, you got to dig through boxes to find the right thing. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. Yeah, 100%.
And Lauren, there is a cool tool where you can clear that follow-ups list. You can go in. I'll show it to you really quick. You can actually clear the follow-ups list if you want. So you go over to your team page.
Yep.
And then right here where it says tools.
Yep.
You go to follow-up contacts, and you'll see like your full list of follow-ups. So you can actually click the ones that you want to remove, or if you want to clear the whole list, you can just click remove all follow-ups.
Right. Okay.
And then that clears the whole list. You can start with a clean slate.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do.
That might be the easiest thing for you to do.
Awesome. I mean, it's already working so well, even not using it properly. So I can imagine how it's going to be so much better when I get that going. But yeah, thank you. I just love it. I think it's amazing.
Sure thing.
Could I ask a question? I love it. I think I've just absolutely fell in love with it, the whole thing, and I can't wait. Thank you so much. It's incredible. Can I, when you're importing the Facebook, obviously, yeah, that's a good question. You might have answered. I just had to go in. My daughter's art class finished half an hour ago, but the art teacher doesn't mind. She's in there. Can you, there's a lot of Isagenix contacts, as Lozzie said. So is there a way that you can categorize people that, not that I don't want to talk to any of you guys, but just don't need you on my list, or do I just get one star?
I'm deleting them out of Teamzy. Yeah.
What you can do, that's a great question. So you can delete them, obviously, yes. But another thing that you can do is you can keep people that you want to connect with, and you can put, so let's say Maynard, for example, let's say he's an associate. I can put personally enrolled, downline, sideline, or upline. Now, that's if I want to have a relationship with him. So if it's somebody that you want to keep on your Teamzy list to stay connected to, and I have people going, well, why would I want an upline on my Teamzy list? That doesn't make me any money. I go, they're your mentor. Here's the thing, like relationships are hard to quantify, right? Relationships are hard to quantify, but the more good relationships you have, the more your business grows. So there's going to be sideline people that you want to stay connected with and build friendships with. What is the direct benefit? The relationship is. So anybody that you want to keep in Teamzy, you can put in there and you can make them sideline or downline, you know, whatever, or you can just delete them out. You know, it's super easy. There's a little trash can next to their name. If you want to delete somebody, you just delete them.
Okay.
And they're gone. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is going to be faster. Let's say you've got Facebook, right? And you've got half of your Facebook friends are associates with Isagenix. That happens. If you're in the business like 3 years, that's going to happen, right? So it's going to be faster to bring the whole list into Teamzy and go down and hit the trash can in Teamzy than it would be trying to pull that list into a spreadsheet or something and editing it. Does that make sense? So the other thing is you can also, like with the associates list, you can just as they come up, you can delete them too. Like if somebody comes up and you're like, oh, I don't want that person on my list, you just delete them right then and your list moves up. So that works too.
So another quick question. If you then make a new connection on Facebook, what's the quick way then to add a new connection?
Super easy. Let me show you. So on every single page in Teamzy, you've got this add contact button at the top. Super fast. Okay, there you are. You're in there, and I can put any information I have on you in here as well.
Yeah.
You know, all of your contact info if I have it. Maybe I just have you on Facebook and that's it, which is fine. The other thing is that I want to show you on the add contact is that's also where you add like a big list. You just hit bulk import.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then I can import a file from my computer. Okay. Pretty cool.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing.
Awesome.
It is awesome.
You guys are going to love it. And just so you know, after, you know, we're a US company, so our prices are only in US dollars. So you guys will notice every month that it's slightly different because it's whatever the exchange rate is, right? Your credit card will automatically do it for you. But after the 30 days free time, Teamzy's $29.99 US per month, right? So it's pretty cheap, especially for what it does. I mean, you're talking about $1 a day to have everything planned for you, right? And I'm no tax attorney, no Australian tax attorney, but I'm pretty sure it's still 100% deductible off taxes, right? As a business expense. So it's a no-brainer. You can pay us and have us help you build your business or give it to the government.
Eric, can I jump in?
Yes, please do.
I just also agree with everyone. It's really sounds amazing, the platform. So congratulations on creating something like that. Really, really cool. I was just wondering, is it possible that you hook Teamzy up with anything like other platforms like Zapier or something like that, and then automate processes through or move people through the processes you have created in Teamzy on the input of through our platforms?
Yeah, we don't have anything like that at this point. I can't promise when we will. However, we did just recently get most of the work done on an API for Teamzy. But at this moment, we don't have plans to make it publicly available for that kind of thing. We're looking at more like, for example, when Isagenix corporate wants to plug Teamzy into the back office, right? That's what we're hoping for at this point, that kind of thing, so that it's available to everyone in the network. So to answer your question, short answer to your question is no, you would still have to put those people in yourself. They wouldn't come in automatically. However, so his question for those of you guys who are like, what is he talking about? You know, a lot of CRMs have these things where like you can capture leads and they automatically get put into your CRM for you. Okay. Because Teamzy is focused on one-on-one relationship building, I think it's really good practice to put them in yourself. In fact, you get rewarded on the dashboard by adding people every day manually, right? Because like, hey, I met a new person, I'm putting them in Teamzy, I'm making sure I'm connecting with them, and I'm building the relationship with them instead of them kind of getting lost in there. Does that make sense? So it's a little bit more, there is a little bit of a step, but again, it's going to be super fast. You're still going to be able to get everything done in that 1 hour a day, including adding your new people in. So you'll be really effective still, if that makes sense.
And there's obviously a phone thingy too.
Yeah. So right now we have a mobile website that's designed to use on your phone. We are in production of a full-fledged native app, but let me show you what it looks like. Here, I'll share this with you guys. It's pretty cool. So here's my phone. You're looking at my phone, and so I've saved the Teamzy dashboard to my home screen. You can see it kind of in the middle there, that little Teamzy purple icon, and that's going to bring me to my Teamzy account. Let me see if I'm probably not logged in. Hold on, it wants to see my face for my password. There we go. You can keep yourself logged in by just clicking that remember me, and then you won't have to log in. It'll stay logged in. So here's my Teamzy dashboard, okay, right here on my phone. Cool, right? So as I connect with people, it's all here. I've got my scripts. By the way, I didn't talk about this, but you can create your own scripts and put them in Teamzy. You can save your own scripts so they're there, which is kind of cool. So if your team has scripts, you can put them in there and have them at your fingertips. I also Teamzy will hook up with your Gmail account, so you can send Gmail through Teamzy, and it logs it as it goes. So one thing that I did in my business was I had emails with info on specific product bundles, right? So I'm talking to Jo. I'm talking to Jo. We're having a great conversation. She's telling me about all her goals, what she wants to achieve, by when, and why. And I'm learning all this for her. And what am I going to do? I'm going to recommend to her a program. I think you should get this package. Okay, so we're going to get you started on this. So then what I would have is I'm going to send you an email with all the info and the links to purchase. So I would have that made in advance for each program that you guys represent, and I'd have it saved as a script in Teamzy. So then when she's like, okay, great, I'm excited, great, I'll look for that email, great. So I would go into Teamzy, go to her record, send his email, grab my script, boom, put her name in it and send it. And she has her buying links and everything, and I have exactly what I need to get her. And it's like immediate. It blows people's minds when you have that ready to go. So that's just one way you can use scripts and have them all in Teamzy loaded up, which is kind of cool, right? Also, I'd have things like welcome to the team message for a new team member. I'd have all those scripts that I would send to somebody, messages I would send day 1, day 3, day 4, right? Different training topics. I'd have them all saved in Teamzy. And when I have a new associate on the team, I'd be like, oh, welcome to the team, send first message, boom. And there it was in Teamzy. I was sent, logged, and I knew that I was on track. Does this make sense? Mm. So all of the things that you want to do, because it's a CRM. I mean, I showed you guys the power hour, which is how you're going to really generate those consistent relationship activities. But then you start getting more organized with it over time. It just makes doing the business a breeze. And I love, Lauren's anywhere there's Wi-Fi, it's like you've got your whole business here. You don't have to go home and find it on your computer. It's always there. You know what I mean? Pretty cool.
Eric, I just have a question before, and then I think we probably need to wrap it up. So I know everyone probably needs to feed the children, and you need to go to bed. It's like 12:30.
I need to go to bed.
But when you just shared that, so Lauren and I were when we were starting to discover this together, we were so excited that we can put our own scripts in, and we've been sharing scripts, and it's been awesome. And so I'm just thinking, I know we all run different campaigns and stuff for our team. My team's just launched this week Fit Body 30. I've literally just, with some other leaders in my line today, put together some scripts. At the moment, there's about 10 of my team doing Fit Body 30 that are using Teamzy. Yeah. In 30 days, everyone in my team building will be using Teamzy. Can I just add those scripts to Teamzy and they can all access them anyway? Or do they all need to add them?
They need to add them. You know what's funny, Joe, is when we launched Teamzy, we had this ability to share scripts with everybody that uses Teamzy. Mm-hmm. And so what we had was this like scripts community, and the ones people would rate them, and the highest ranked scripts would come up first when you went into scripts. So it was like a user generated scripts library. People hated it. Oh, we had so many people say, we don't want to share scripts with other teams. So we actually took it out, but part of taking that out took out the ability to, because there's no way for us to know who's on your team.
Yeah, of course.
Does that make sense? We have no way to know that. We just know who's in Isagenix. So, so at this point, you would just say, your Facebook group or whatever, team page. Here are the scripts. Grab them and upload them into your Teamzy. Yeah.
Got it. Oh my goodness. Who's excited? Even more than we maybe were before. Was that valuable, everyone? Yeah.
So, thank you. Thanks, Joe. Thanks for organising it. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Eric, for taking the time. This is just so excited for Isagenix, for all of us. And Eric is going to send me this recording, guys, in the morning. Though he needs to go to bed now. So I'll send this to Lauren and Jackie if you want to disseminate to whoever in your team. Okay.
Thanks, Eric. Thanks, Joe. That was amazing.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. It was my pleasure to be here. Welcome to the Teamzy family, everyone.
Thank you, Eric. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.